I'm attorney Mark Nicholson from the law office of Mark Nicholson, and I'm going to talk about today impersonating a public servant, more specifically, impersonating a law enforcement officer. Yes, a law enforcement officer. Now, I will tell you that in the last couple of weeks here in Indianapolis, 2 people have been arrested for impersonating a law enforcement officer. And in Indiana, it is a crime to try to impersonate a public servant. That's a misdemeanor. It is a felony if you try to impersonate someone that is a law enforcement officer or someone from like the Indiana Department of Revenue or someone that collects property. That is a level 6 felony. So you go from a misdemeanor to a felony real quick. Now, in one instance, it's alleged that someone who has a local traffic business in Fishers was in Indianapolis on Shadeland and pulled over by using his lights an unmarked IMPD officer, an unmarked police car by an IMPD officer. Bad day. First, it's alleged that he was doing this because he was impersonating a police officer. Apparently, he was doing this to get the officer to pull over, although he didn't know it was an officer. Then his day, like I said, went from bad to worse, right? Then a couple of weeks later, another person was in Broad Ripple and was trying to get inside this club, this piano bar, by flashing his ID as a police officer. That way he would get in for free. Well, he should have listened to his own advice, because if they're letting police officers in for free by showing ID, then that's a place where probably a lot of police officers will go, right? Well, true. The manager contacted one of the off-duty police officers that was working there. They followed the guy to another bar or business in Broad Ripple. He was driving a Crown Vic, which, in my experience, a lot of officers nowadays are not really driving the Crown Vics or driving these Dodge Challengers.
Or it could be a Dodge Charger and not a Challenger.
Well, to his dismay, the police stopped him, searched him, found he had like handcuffs, some IMPD got placards, a badge, all this stuff that they're claiming is not legit. So my advice to you is, if you're not a public servant or law enforcement, do not impersonate them, because you can get a misdemeanor or you can get a felony. However, if you find yourself charged with that crime, contact the law office of Mark Nicholson, because we will fight for you.